Hello everybody, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to one of our weekly, I suppose, Spy X Family discussion videos. Today we're here to talk all about episode 2, and I am joined once again by the wonderful, star-tacular Stella Luna.
Hello.
She back, and guess what? They got a gold star. Oh snap!
Yeah!
Gold star, let's go! We all love to see a gold star. With that said though, if you want to get a gold star next week, I'm going to need to see 150 likes on this week's video before the next one. And if you can do that, bam, you get your gold star for next week's episode as well. And again, the show with the most gold stars at the end of the season wins. What do you win? Nothing. The pride of victory. But yeah, with that said, let's talk about episode 2 of Spy X Family, shall we?
Yeah.
This was...
This was a good episode.
This was a great episode.
Like, it's so funny because I'm having so much fun watching, and this is only episode 2.
Yeah, that's how I feel as well. Like, we ended it, and I literally just said out loud, like, this show is friggin' awesome. Like, I was so...
It is!
It's so great. Yeah, I adore it. I think, like, a big thing for me is, like, so from episode 1, right? I was like, Twilight is, like, top tier husbando material, right?
Yes, he is.
And so many comments were like, "You're saying that now? Like, if you're saying like you've already got a husbando, just wait till next week when YOR shows up, you're gonna have a waifu." Like, that's what everyone was saying, right? YOR is fucking awesome. Like, I was like, oh my god, she's great. Yeah, I was confused, like, not confused, but like curious what she was gonna be, right? Because I did know that, like, the show was about an esper, a spy, and an assassin. Yeah. Right? So I knew she was an assassin, right? But I thought she was gonna be, like, kind of cold and calculating. Like, I thought that was gonna be her personality. But she's actually kind of a dork, right? Like, she's like adorkable, right? Where she's really sweet and she's really kind, but she's kind of, like, nervous. Yeah. And, like, trying not to step on anyone's toes and stuff like that. She works with some absolute top tier bitches, but we'll get into it. But yeah, YOR, I think for the most part steals the episode this week. Like, mostly because Twilight's not really in it a whole lot.
No, he's not. Because it's funny because, like, we essentially this episode set up to see, like, how YOR is going to become the wife, because we knew she was, right? Because she's, like, in the opening, posters, all that stuff we knew, but it's like how it's set up for her to marry, quote unquote, Twilight.
Yeah, how does that happen? Yeah, and it's like how does it happen? And it's like, well, you know, she works and she, you know, her, like, to keep her identity, like, she's, like, getting older. Older. I wanted to scream when they said that. I was like, older my ass. Like,
I was like, older. And I'm like, 27 is old? Like, oh, you're not. I mean, I guess, to be fair, like, the time period that this, like, kind of takes place at, which is, like, you know, like, what, like 1930s or 40s era.
Well, they have TVs though, right? So it's like,
you have TV, so it's like maybe a little later. It's like a weird mix, right?
My guess is, like, it's its own. I think it's like its own world where it's like inspired by kind of like the 50s with technology that we have now, but it's sort of also older looking. Like, it's a weird setting, right?
Yeah,
but I think the time period thing is correct.
Yeah, where it could be just, like, the societal, like, norms of, like, oh, you're 27, you're getting old, like, you should be married now, right? And probably having kids, right? And you should have had that, like, years ago, right? So I think that's a huge part of it, is that, oh, you know, like, it's just their society norms, right? But I still felt offended because I'm like, oh, hey now!
Yeah.
Hey now!
Yeah.
Oh!
You're like 27, right? I'm like...
At your prehistoric age?
At your prehistoric... Literally, this world is run by TikTok comments. Like, I was like, oh my god. Like
I could just imagine Miss Camilla there at your prehistoric age.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Camilla is the embodiment of TikTok and YouTube Shorts commenters. Like that's who she is. Just like mean and rude, like just ugh. Like and you could ask Stella. This happened like the entire episode. Every time Camilla was on screen, I was like, why is she such a jerk? Like, she's such a bitch. Like, why is she so mean? I don't understand why she was so mean to Yor. Like, even the other two, like, they were gossipy, but they weren't, like, mean like she was. Like, I was like, what is your damage? So mean. Because, like, Yor is not, like, it's weird to me, right? Because Yor doesn't come across as somebody who would be picked on.
Yeah.
Right? Like, but I guess because she's quiet, right? The other girls, like, they're all chatty, and she's the quiet one, so of course, like, they'd form, like, a little clique and, like, kind of leave her out. Yeah. But, like, yeah, like, when she shows up to the party, and it takes Twilight friggin' forever to get there, and, like, blah, 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 like, it's upsetting, you know? Like...
I was like, why are you just being a bitch for no reason?
It was really, really, really mean. Like, it was hard to watch. Yeah, she's a jerk, but it did make me, like, more endeared to Yor, right? Because it's like, she didn't do anything wrong. Well, and on top of that, the only reason why she even showed up was for her brother, right? Because her brother was saying, like, look, I won't take this promotion unless I know that you're okay if I leave, right? Yeah. Like, just being, like, a sweet little brother, right? To be like, I want to make sure that you're cared for before I go, and, like, I appreciate everything you've done for me, and yada yada. Like, seemingly she became an assassin to help her brother get to the position he's in, you know?
Yeah.
So, like...
Yeah, exactly.
Like, Yor is, like, a really... For an assassin, she's a very good person, you know? Which is funny to say, because we literally see her not just slice up one dude, but, like, a room filled with dudes. And her concern at the end is like, oh, man, I stained my dress. It's like, damn. Like, she can be cold when she needs to be, right?
Yeah.
But she's also very funny. Like, I think her style of comedy is gonna fit in really well with the other two. Yeah. Right? Because, like, her being sort of, like, unsure how people function in normal society, right? With Twilight, who thinks he knows, but doesn't, like, super know. Yeah. Right? And then Anya, who can just read both of their minds.
Well, I fucking love when so Twilight takes Anya out, you know, to like get new clothing to look a little bit more not like I like a hoodlum. I don't know.
I don't know what because I was like, she's cute. Like
she's cute. I was like, I don't know what he was thinking because I'm like, she looks fine to me, and I'm like, what do you want her like fancy your dress? Because they want her to be like.
Well, and I even said, I'm like, are you gonna get rid of the horns? Like, don't do that. Like,
yeah. But then, like, you know, she walks in and like Anya's like, oh my god, she's an assassin and a spy. And then she was like, oh, I know what she's thinking. Oh man, I wish I had a mama. I have no mama.
It would be awesome to have a mom.
Yeah, and Twilight looks at her and is like, what the fuck are you going on about?
Like, where did that come from?
What are you doing? What are you doing? And then, you know, it's like...
It was just so funny. Well, because Twilight's, like, literally baffled, right? He's like, what's going on with you? Right? And then she's like, you don't have a mom? Right? It's like, oh my god. Like, that scene was great. Well, he wouldn't have even brought her in there if it wasn't for his partner. Right? Yeah. Like, by the way, is he dead? Like,
I don't know.
We don't see him by the end of the episode.
No, we don't. I don't think he's dead.
I don't think he's dead. I feel like that'd be because he's too funny to like get rid of. Like, I'd be really bummed out if he died because we don't see him at the end. He should be in the van, right? Or well, maybe Twilight dropped him off.
Yeah, maybe.
Right? Maybe. But like, yeah, like that's the only reason why they even go in is because the partner's also stupid, right? He's probably gonna end up being like the uncle figure, right, to Anya, or it's like her dorky uncle, because like he also has no clue, right? Because like he's acting like he knows, but he doesn't know anything. Because for him, he knows about society, but he doesn't know about spy and assassin stuff. You know, like he's just kind of an informant. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's such a because on the surface, it doesn't seem like it'd be like a particularly funny show, but it's really funny.
It's really funny.
Yeah. Well, and it's also just like you said, like you made the joke of like, this is the most romantic thing I've ever seen. You know?
Yeah, like, you know, they're running away from some fucking dudes that they, like, Twilight got in trouble with.
The art thieves or whatever.
Yeah, and like, you know, he's like, you know, they're running and she's like, wow, like your patience, like, are you sure that was okay? And I'm like, I can't really tell if like these two are actually kind of stupid or if they're like, they know something is up, but because they're convenient, they decide not to say anything.
That's the thing. Well, because I think even Twilight says, I can't tell if she's really smart or rock bottom stupid. Yes. Right? And I'm like, neither can I, but for both of you. Right? Yeah, I'm like, I really can't tell if both of you are just colossally stupid. Or like,
I'm like, if I was a spy and I saw someone be able to fucking kick ass like no other day, I'd be like, that's because most people don't know how to do that.
Most people can't kick a human body across an alleyway. Like, you know what I mean? Well, he even says like, do you see how far he went? Right? Like, and he was excited about it. Like Twilight was like, did you see how far you kicked him? That was awesome. Right? And I'm like, I can't tell if he's delirious. Right? Because he did take some pretty nasty head trauma, right? Like, because when he walked in, he was bleeding, right?
He was.
And I thought the excuse was going to be, like, his excuse was going to be that he had crashed his car. Not like, oh, my patient went insane. You know how it is. It's like, what? But that's what I mean. Like, I really think Twilight is kind of dumb, right?
He is, yeah.
Like, I shouldn't say dumb. He's socially really stupid. I think they're both socially stupid. Right? Yes. Like, where they're intelligent people, but when you put them in social settings, like, they're very dumb. Because they're not built for that, right?
No.
Like, they're built to, like, play characters if they need to, right? But when it's just them, it's hard, right?
Yeah.
Like, because we've seen Twilight be able to play characters, right? But he can't really be himself. He's not, like, he probably doesn't even know who Twilight is, quote unquote, you know? Like, he probably doesn't even really know himself like that. Right? Same with YOR, right? She probably doesn't really know who she is. Because she's, you know, too busy being an assassin and stuff. And that's why I think when he gets excited and says, like, did you see how far you kicked him? And she's like, I know, it was crazy, right? And she's, like, excited and, like, they're both, like, goofing around and talking. I'm like, oh, this is actually cute? Like, their little, like, escape scene was, like, cute. And then when she asks, like, hey, listen, I gotta ask you something. And we're both like, oh, okay, this is where she asks, like, if he's a spy. And she goes, like, do you want to get married? It's like, whoa! And he, like, trips and falls, right? Because he's so shocked. And then he proposes with a grenade pin.
I know.
The most romantic thing I have ever seen. Like, that is... I was, like... When you said that, I was thinking it. I was like, that is very weirdly cute, right? Because, like, as he proposes and puts the ring on her, like, the fucking grenade goes off, and there's an explosion, but they're safe behind this, like, thing that they're hiding behind. Like, so funny. And, like, I really ship them pretty hard, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I think it's, like, they're really cute. Right?
They are really cute, yeah. I just can't get over the marriage proposal. The fact that, like, they were running and she's like, I know this is kind of, like, a weird question to ask, and I thought she was going to ask if he was a spy.
Yeah.
She's like, do you want to get married? And I'm like,
what? Yeah, I was like, what? Like, I thought she was going to go along with it. Yeah, like, I thought she was just going to go along with it for a while, right? Yeah. But she's like, well, if we get married, it's just easier for both of us, right? And I'm like, she ain't wrong, Twilight, right? I mean, or like, she's not wrong.
Yeah, but I was still shocked because I thought what was gonna happen is that she was gonna go, like, are you a spy?
Yeah.
Right?
Well, then he'd be like, are you an assassin? Right? Like, because, like, they would have been able to, like, put two and two together. Because, like you said, they would have been, like, a power couple, you know?
Yeah, exactly, right? And they just, because, like, they would know that they're using each other for their own, like, gain and safety.
Yeah.
Right? Like, and not to mention, it'd be pretty helpful to have an assassin in the house, you know, just in case you get, like, ransacked again. You know?
Well, like, if I were Twilight, right, and I knew she was an assassin, and I knew how her coworkers treated her, right, I'd be like, I make enough for both of us. Stay home with Anya.
Yeah.
Right? Like, because, like, at that point, Yor can do her assassin, because it's like, stay home with Anya, and at night when you gotta do assassin shit, you can go do assassin shit. Right? Yeah. Like, because why would he care? Right? Like, unless it directly involves his mission, he ain't gonna care. Oh my god, that's what's gonna happen, isn't it? At some point in the show, her assassin stuff is gonna interfere with his spy stuff. Like, at some point.
No, that's exactly what it's so funny because I thought the same thing during the show, and like, I feel like at some point it's just that something's gonna happen between the two of them.
We're gonna have like a Mr. and Mrs. Smith type moment where they gotta fight. Like, yeah, 100%. I feel like that's what's gonna happen. That's crazy.
Yeah. It is crazy.
Well, because, like, who would win in a fight? Right? Like, they're pretty... I feel like they're on par. Like...
Yeah.
I don't know. You know who would win?
Who?
Anya.
Anya. Yeah.
Anya would win.
And I'm also going to say this. Anya is by far my favorite child character I've ever seen in any show.
She is so fun. Like, I am willing to agree with one exception.
Is it Eri? No.
Although I do like Eri a lot too. It's funny because people think I hate kids, and I'm like, no, I hate certain kids. There's kids in anime. That should be a video. Kids in anime I don't hate, right? Because I don't hate Eri. I will protect Eri, right? No, there's one kid who I think is on par with Anya. I wouldn't say he's better, but I'd say he's on par. And that kid is Phil from Promised Neverland.
Oh, Phil!
Phil!
I fucking love... Okay, yeah.
Phil. Yeah.
Phil, yes.
Yeah, Phil and it's to me it's Phil and then it's and Anya. They're both on par, but Anya's friggin' great, right? Because she's a kid character who's not annoying.
No, exactly. She still like it has a lot of like
kid
child
energy.
Tendencies.
Yeah,
but she's not. Yeah, she's not annoying, and I think that just stems from her being, able to read minds.
Yeah, she knows she can read the room. Literally read the room.
Like, she literally reads the room, right? Yeah. Where because that's the thing is kids are very like you kind of just have to tell them what you mean. Like they're not gonna catch social cues, right?
No.
And that's why Anya I think is is a really like great child character because whereas it's sometimes frustrating when kids just can't read the room because they're kids, right? But Anya literally can.
Yeah, she can actually read the room.
She can actually read the room. So when someone is upset or something, she'll know, right?
Yeah.
She just knows, right? I just love every time that Twilight lies, she's like, Papa's a liar.
Well, when her little I think it's the one-liners that just kill me that I think are so funny, right? Like Papa's a liar, right? Every time he says something that is that the audience is like, right? She's like, Papa's a liar. Right?
Or she's acting like she's like, oh,
it'd be so great if I had a
mother. Well, if I had a mama.
Yeah, if I had a mama. Even the beginning of the episode when she's like, I don't accept this as my mama. Right? Yeah. She's like, I don't accept that as my mama. So funny. Mama. Well, the friend's like, well, what do you want me to do? Right? So funny. Yeah, the cast is great. This is such a solid cast. It's nice to have the family together by episode 2 as well.
Yes.
We didn't have to wait terribly long for Yor to show up or for Anya to show up. We know the mission. We're in it now. I'm betting episode 3 is probably gonna be the meeting.
Yeah.
Where we see them act as a family for the first time. Because we didn't really see them act as a family unit. Because this episode, Anya is as much as we just gushed about Anya, she's not really in it like that, right? No. She's there, but she's not really present, right? It's more about Yor, and then eventually towards the end of the episode, Yor and Twilight. Or Lloyd, because I'm sure someone in the comments would be like, your name is Lloyd. No, that's his cover name. His real name is Twilight. But yeah, I I think next week's probably going to be the first time we see them act as a unit. I want to see YOR bonding with Anya. Like, that's what I really want to see.
Yeah.
Because I think those two are really going to get along.
I agree. I definitely agree.
Yeah. But, anything else? Oh, opening.
No.
Opening. We got the opening.
Oh, yeah, we did get the opening. The one thing I will say about the opening, and I do like the opening, right?
I do too. No, I agree with what you're about to say.
I was expecting something more like a death parade kind of opening, right? Like with the body, but like something, like something like that, right? Like I don't know what it was about like this show that gave me like that vibe where we're gonna have like an opening very like that, but like not the same song, but kind of like maybe like a little bit more like jazzy, a little bit more like you know.
I agree with you big time. I think Flyers and I think this is the second time I've mentioned this show in these videos, like in the Spy X Family videos, but I expected something of like Flyers or the Aka 13 opening.
Yeah.
Which I will show you after, because to me, I'm like, I expected this. And again, like, there were a few Aka 13 fans in these comments, so I'm like, Aka 13 fans, rise up. Listen, if you like Spy X Family, go watch Aka 13, but like after Spy X Family is done. Oh, perfect. Watch it in between, because we're getting two cores for Spy X Family.
Yeah.
So in summer, when it's off air, just replace it with Aka 13 for a bit, and then Spy X Family comes back. But yeah, I think the opening could have been better, but I really like the art style during it. Like, I think the song could have been better. I think the visuals are great, because the visuals make it feel like it's a spy thriller, right? Because it looks like those cartoons that would play before, like, Pink Panther or like James Bond, right? Like, so I think it like really fits, and I really like it. I agree with you on the song. I feel like it could have been more jazzy.
A little bit more, like, I feel like it wasn't quite hype enough, right?
Yeah. Or it could have sounded like a Bond song, Like,
yeah, that's true. Yeah, a Bond song, maybe something a little jazzy,
Yeah, I agree completely.
Something along those lines. And I'm not saying it was bad or anything, right? Like, I think visually it was awesome. Yeah. It's just like, when it came to the song, I just like, it was just kind of like, yeah, this is anime song.
Yeah, this is an anime tune. Yeah, it's an anime opening.
I definitely think visually it looked really great.
I agree with that.
No. Because, like, I'm not gonna lie, I can't remember how I don't even remember how the song even goes at this point.
No, I just remember the visuals.
I just remember the visuals. Yeah, exactly. I just remember the visuals. And like, usually, like, I know, like, when you see an opening for the first time, you're not gonna remember the whole thing, right? But
you
like,
at least remember the course,
Yeah, But I just remember watching it and going, wow, the visuals are really nice, but the song's like,
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
Take it or leave it type song.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, other than that, like,
I think that's everything.
I love the show.
I do too. This show surprised the hell out of me. Like, and I already knew it was going to be quality going in, but I didn't think I was going to love it this much.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I had high expectations, and it beat those high expectations, I guess.
That's awesome. Right on.
Yeah.
All right. I guess that's it for us, though.
Yeah.
So, outro. And that's going to do it for today's discussion, everybody. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for listening. As always, I want to give a big thank you to the lovely people who help support us over on Patreon. And if you too would like to have your name scrolling past the screen, then be sure to check out that Patreon link in the description. And of course, a big thank you has to go to Asaki VT, Elizabeth Just Elizabeth, JCran23, Jeremy P, Matt87 Eagle, Shadow Creative, Shiorins, Stephen G, Stevie W, Trap Master, Trevor W, and Tristan G. Thank you all so much for your continued support. It means the world to me. Thank you so much. Check me out over on Twitch, on Twitter, all the fun stuff. Links to everything are in the first link in the description. Thank you so much for watching / listening, and I will see you in the next one.